My husband lied about a business trip, so I teamed up with his secret girlfriend. Now he's single and we're best friends. I never thought I'd be the type of woman to dig through my husband's suitcase, but I also never thought I'd be the type of woman whose husband might have a second life. It started innocently enough. Daniel had a business trip to Chicago. He was in real estate, so travel wasn't unusual. Just a 3-day conference, he said, kissing me on the forehead before he left. I'll be back before you even miss me. Except I did miss him, and something about this trip felt off. For one, he didn't text much. Normally, Daniel would send selfies from overpriced steak dinners, complain about boring panels, or at least check in before bed. This time, just a few short replies. Then, on the second night, my best friend Jenna sent me a message. Hey, weird question, but was Daniel's conference in Miami? I swear I just saw him on a friend's Instagram story. Miami? I felt my stomach drop. Jenna sent me the story, a boomerang clip of a rooftop bar, neon lights reflecting off glassy skyscrapers. It panned across a group of people laughing, clinking glasses, and there, for half a second, was my husband, not in a suit, not at a conference, and definitely not alone. A woman was next to him, leaning in, her hand on his arm. I didn't recognize her, but I recognized the way he smiled at her. My hands shook as I tried to think rationally. Maybe there was a work event in Miami. Maybe it was an old friend. Maybe I was losing my mind. Or maybe my husband was lying to me. I needed answers, but I didn't want to tip him off. So I waited. When he came home, I acted normal, smiled, kissed him, helped him unpack. And that's when I found it, tucked into the pocket of his carry-on, a folded-up receipt, one expensive hotel, 2 guests. I stared at the receipt in my hands. The hotel was in Miami, confirming what I already knew. But what made my breath catch? The room details. 1 suite, 2 guests. I felt a weird sense of calm wash over me. Not relief exactly, but clarity. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overthinking. My husband was cheating on me. Now the question was, what was I going to do about it? I wanted to scream, cry, throw the receipt in his face, but I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I carefully folded it back up and placed it where I found it. If he noticed it was slightly creased differently than before, he didn't say anything. That night, I lay beside him, wide awake, as he snored softly, completely unaware that everything was about to change. The next morning, I played my part. I asked about the trip, feigning interest in his generic rehearsed answers. Oh, just networking, meetings, same old thing. I almost laughed. I waited a few days before making my move, long enough for him to think he was in the clear, that he had gotten away with it. Then I called in reinforcements. Jenna was practically vibrating with excitement when I told her my plan. You're diabolical, she whispered, grinning. I shrugged. He wants to play games? Fine, let's play. Here's what I did. First, I reached out to one of Daniel's co-workers, Megan. She and I had always been friendly, and she had no idea she was about to be my secret weapon. Casually, over coffee, I slipped in a simple question. So, that Chicago trip must have been exhausting, huh? She frowned. What Chicago trip? Bingo. I acted confused. The conference, the one Daniel went to last week. Oh, Megan said, shaking her head. Daniel wasn't at a conference. He took PTO, said he was going on a personal trip. I forced myself to nod, pretending like this was totally fine. Inside, my heart was hammering. So he didn't even bother to cover his tracks at work? Bold. Now, I needed to know one thing. Who was the woman? I scrolled back to Jenna's message, analyzing that Instagram story again. I clicked on the girl who originally posted it, hoping her profile wasn't private. It wasn't. And there she was. Her name was Claire. She was younger than me, maybe mid-20s, tall, blonde, pretty in a very predictable way. And, of course, her account was filled with pictures of beaches, cocktails, and luxury hotels, including the exact hotel from the receipt. This was the moment I could have confronted him, could have called him out, thrown all my evidence on the table, but something inside me said, not yet. Instead, I followed Claire's account, and then I waited. A few hours later, I got a notification. Claire followed me back. My stomach flipped. Either she had no idea who I was, or she absolutely did. I stared at the notification. Claire followed me back. My heart was pounding. What did that mean? Did she know who I was? Or was she just one of those people who followed back out of habit? I needed to know. So I took a risk. I sent her a message. Me. Hey, random, but I think we might know some of the same people. You were in Miami last week, right? She replied almost immediately. Claire. OMG, yeah. Best trip ever. Do we know each other? I hesitated. Then I typed, me. Maybe. Were you there for work or fun? I stared at my screen, barely breathing as the dots appeared. Claire. Ha ha ha. Definitely fun. My boyfriend took me. He totally spoiled me. It was amazing. My boyfriend. I had to read it twice. A strange, almost hysterical laugh bubbled up in my throat. Oh, this was good. This was so good. I played dumb. Me. Ah, that's so sweet. What does he do? Claire. Real estate, he's the best. We've been together for almost a year now. A year. I was gripping my phone so hard my knuckles turned white. A year. My fingers trembled as I typed, me. Wait, that's crazy. My husband's in real estate too. What's his name? Maybe they know each other. A pause. Then, Claire. Daniel's smiley face. I swear, time stopped for a second. I felt something inside me snap. A year, a whole year. He hadn't just lied to me about one trip. He'd been living an entirely separate life. And now I was going to burn it all to the ground. I needed Claire on my side, so I dropped the bomb in the gentlest way I could. Me. Oh, wow. Claire, I'm so sorry, but Daniel is my husband. Silence. I watched as the typing bubble popped up, then disappeared, then popped up again. Then Claire, wait, what? I took a deep breath and sent her everything. Screenshots, the receipt, a picture of me and Daniel on our wedding day. I waited, and finally, Claire. I had no idea. I believed her. She sounded just as shocked as I was. Then she sent something that made my stomach flip. Claire, I don't even know what to say. He told me he was divorced, that you cheated on him. I almost threw my phone across the room, the sheer audacity of this man. But then, an idea. Me, hey, do you want to get even? And just like that, Claire and I became co-conspirators. Daniel came home from work the next day, completely unaware that his entire world was about to crumble. I had everything ready. The wine was poured, dinner was made. I was the picture of a loving wife. And then, right as he sat down, I sweetly said, "Oh, babe, I invited someone over. Hope you don't mind." He looked confused. Who? The doorbell rang. I smiled. You'll see. He stood up, heading for the door, and I watched the moment his soul left his body. Because standing there, looking stunning, arms crossed and eyes blazing, was Claire, his girlfriend. I wish I had filmed it. The way the blood drained from his face, the way his mouth opened and closed, like he was searching for an excuse, an escape, anything. Claire was calm, almost too calm. Hey, babe, she said, her voice dripping with venom, or should I say, husband? Daniel turned to me, panic in his eyes. "Wh- what is this?" I took a sip of my wine. Dinner? Then, without breaking eye contact, I slid my wedding ring off my finger and placed it on the table. Claire? She pulled out her promise ring, the one he had given her, and dropped it next to mine. And then, in perfect sync, we both looked at him, silent, waiting, watching him squirm. I wish I could tell you he had some grand explanation, that he begged, that he tried to talk his way out of it. But no, Daniel did what all cowards do. He turned and walked out, didn't say a word, didn't fight for either of us, just left. Fine by me. Claire and I toasted our wine glasses and had the best dinner of our lives. In case you're wondering, no, Daniel and I didn't get back together. I filed for divorce the next day. As for Claire, she and I stayed friends. Turns out, when you go through something this insane together, you kind of bond for life. Oh, and Daniel? Last I heard, he tried dating a third woman. I guess he didn't learn his lesson. But I did. And now, I'm happier than ever.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit notifications, and if you like this video, press like button. See you in next Deep Reddit videos.